What makes them a rainbow?
You are a magician.
Yeah.
Do we maybe want to just take a minute, since there are so many faces that are familiar but some that aren't, to just introduce ourselves so that we get to know everybody who's around the table and maybe where you come from?
I'm Renee. I'm a student with the Environmental Studies program. I'm really excited.
Hi everyone, I'm Rayma and I'm also an Environmental and Sustainability Studies student.
I'm Thomas Kraus. I was part of the committee to organize everything here.
I'm Rachel. I bet you can't guess the program I'm in.
I'm Josh Old, Patricia Bishop's husband and a farmer.
I'm Carla Taylor and I share a small farm with my partner Justin Black. And we run a small member CSA and then we raise a few animals for our own consumption.
I'm Nats. I work with small scale and organic farmers.
I'm Edith Callahan. I'm a professor at the School of Business and also in Environmental Studies.
I'm Ted Hatton. I run a farm in Lakeville. The weather is changing, but it is changing dramatically. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Greenland. Yes. You know, with the ice melt, they are actually able to grow potatoes in the southern part.
Really?
Isn't that something? Yes.
Because ice is melting.
Yeah.
Dr. Shiva, I was wondering if you could tell the students a little bit about the university and volunteer program associated with Navdanya.
So, you know, I started Navdanya 25 years ago. And about 10 years ago, we started courses. That's how what we now call the Earth University grew. Without any big idea, just that there should be a learning center available to farmers, to young people, to anyone who wants to learn the real stuff, you know, how to grow food, how to live in community, how to build communities. So now we have an internship and volunteers program, and we welcome people to come for a minimum of 3 months, but if people don't have that much time, then for less. Because the school is on the farm, people work on the farm, people work in the kitchen. Farmers are under so much pressure of all kinds, they can't be left to be the only ones who become agents for seed saving and seed sovereignty.
Everything you say makes so much sense, and I hate the idea. I still buy seed. A lot of it's hybrid seed, so it's not even possible to save it. And even some of the seed I buy, a couple of varieties, is coming from Seminus. I won't deny it.
Varieties.
What?
A lot of varieties.
It's insane, right? And Seminus is owned by Monsanto, and this is not a company that I really want to put my money into.
So you have to turn it into a basis for economic production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know? And that's why the link between the farmer, the seed, the farmer, and the eater becomes vital. Now, if heritage seeds are working, it's because people suddenly realize, oh my God, these tomatoes are so much tastier. Yeah? Now, those tomatoes might not yield huge quantities, but they get you twice the income.
For me, it just is like, well, why don't you just save the seeds? Because like I don't know the process of it. Why not? Like,
It just takes more time and people.
okay.
So sometimes you need literally land, space, or like trees or a barrier to do that.
Okay.
But if you're interested, someone who's really, you probably know him, Dan Jason, Salt Spring Seeds, who was kind of inspiration for Annapolis Valley Seeds, who's Owen Bridge, who's a really neat young person who's doing a lot of seed saving here in the valley. He's a really great, Dan Jason, how to save seeds. It's like this big, so it's not 900 pages, it's not too scary. And it's a great starter book for the basics of seed saving.
Like for us here to make that decision, like for me to make that decision, like to hire Catherine to save seed, you know, even if she works really cheap, it's the economics are so difficult because right now the companies have us, I don't want to say trapped, but I honestly don't even really think seriously about what I do in the spring when I buy seed.
Responsibility is awareness of the consequences of your action and awareness of the many alternatives that you have to make a choice. A burden is trying to take on more than you can carry. Initially, like I said, we just need to grow the awareness of what's happening to the seed and the schools and the children, everyone. But I think in the long run, to solve this issue, what I see happening is seed cooperatives emerging, who are able to get the appropriate seeds to the farmers.
Within the community, like
Within the community,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's not such a huge problem. I mean, we've done it in Acadia. I mean, large areas. Agriculture would not have been possible if we hadn't started saving seeds 25 years ago.
Or how do you, in your own self, like keep motivated and positive and keep people vibrant in this so they don't feel so burdened and overwhelmed in
So
the work?
First thing I say is doing your best in your sphere of influence, ecological, social, while also looking after and nurturing yourself. Yeah? Giving enough attention to your own well-being. And I see a lot of environmental activists. You know, why am I grey today and still laughing? For the simple reason I didn't burn out because I stopped being an atlas. I said, I'll be a server. And when you serve, you do the little step that you can carry and carry the little weight that you can carry, you know? And don't project yourself into solving every problem of the world. But the second thing about it, and it's also related to your question, I didn't start my life in agriculture or in organic farming. I've arrived there. And I've arrived there with the recognition that here is where the biggest problems are being created, and here is where the biggest problems will be solved, with tiny steps. The big problems will have tiny solutions. And that's why, to me, the smallest organic farm and the tiniest initiative in a university has huge significance. And that's also why Monsanto worries a lot. You know, if I go off to Bhutan to help them go organic, they send Jeffrey Sachs to say, you're going to starve, you'll die, don't do this. You know, every little place where there's a little bit of independence and a real initiative on sustainability, they try to descend, say, extinguish. And that's why, for me, communities become vital, because communities are the defense. To say, no, we will live our freedom, and we will live our responsibility, and we will create our joy. Because I think these things are so precious, you know, producing good food, saving a seed. It's so precious that it has to be a source of joy. It cannot be a source of misery.